Just wanted to go live really quickly to give you guys an update about court today. As most of you know, I had court today. I took Carmen to court to take her to task for a lot of the things that she's done to me. You know, offline. You can say whatever you want online. I don't care who talk to, blah, 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 blah. I talk online. We all do. That's part of being a social media influencer. But when you start threatening people's lives, when you start lying on a court document, and the court pulls up the document and see that you lied and you can't substantiate any of it, and you're threatening people and you're doing all the shit that, you know, OJ does, you at some point that shit's gonna catch up with you. And we've seen Carmen get away with so much over the years. It's like, damn, is she ever gonna be on the hook for all the shit she's done to people? Her team. I took it in front of the judge, and there's a warrant out for Carmen's arrest. And that bond is 10 grand. There is a warrant for your arrest. And when I get home, I'm gonna call Texas PD and tell them where you out there laid up in that ill-gotten condo y'all laid up in. You'll be extradited back to Georgia. Definitely. And I don't want to see anyone go to jail. I'm not happy and delighted. Like, oh, finally, you deserve it. The shit y'all did, shit to the public, that's punishable. That is a felony. That's punishable by law. And I let all that shit slide. But hey, you could get it too, because you did the same thing. You are pathetic. And you didn't show up in court today. It didn't help you. But you knew you couldn't face me. There's a warrant out for her arrest. Turn yourself in. Get down to the welfare. That's why you ain't come here today. Because if she would have came here today, she'd have had to turn herself in by 7 o'clock.
What happened today was nothing but God. A person took out a warrant on me for stuff like stalking, terroristic threats. What else was it?
Well, actually, what happened was the person filed charges against Carmen, and the charges were lies. And Carmen was supposed to appear in court yesterday, unbeknownst to her, because the person purposely put the wrong address for Carmen, knowing damn well that Carmen does not live in Atlanta, doesn't live in Georgia.
I do. I work out of Georgia, but they put the person I've been to court with maybe a month ago or 3 weeks ago recently have the address that's on the court records from when we recently went to court. It was rescheduled. The person that put the wrong address on this application that she filed knows that my residence is in Houston. I have been working in Atlanta. She knows that I have an Atlanta address where you know, so she knows. But she put my old address. Y'all remember my first house where I started my seasoning business. She put the 3612 Yana Lane address. She put my old address. I'm a Texas resident, a Texan. My business is based out of Texas. My insurance, so many things. I have proof of residency. And guess what? God is so good. I ain't have to show none of that. You just can't get you cannot get a warrant rescinded. Nobody can call the courts and get a warrant rescinded. But these people are so psychotic and crazy. They want you to think that Carmen called and told so many lies and got the warrant rescinded. You cannot get a warrant rescinded that easy. So many people today, this morning, last night, calling the courthouse. They've been calling the Cobb County Courthouse. They've been calling the sheriff office, the warrant division, the jail, the magistrate court. Court can't even operate. Clerk can't do their job because everybody calling about Carmen Riley. Carmen Riley. Hundreds of people calling. So now everybody called the judge and everybody want to know, who the hell is Carmen Riley? They look into everything, the judge. And I'm pretty sure she looked into the past of the person that filed this bogus report and said, we're going to reschedule this. My lawyer done nothing. I done nothing. God did it all. I did. I have no warrant. It's been rescinded. It should have never been. And I think the judge saw that. When you look at another person that have 300 RICO charges, that's a straight criminal. And you look at me, we are not the same. We're not the same. And when I say God shut it down, y'all know how big Cobb County is? And when I tell you Cobb County do not play the radio, the video, Cobb County do not play nothing. You don't play around with Cobb County. You don't. So when we go to court, that judge gonna remember what was done on this day, how the entire courthouse and sheriff department was disrupted. So the judge must have looked, is what I'm thinking, at my record, pulled all my information, my background. I think the judge pulled my background, pulled her background, and said, hey, this one ain't happening. We're gonna reschedule this.
It's not about the allegations. I mean, I think we have already said this. It was the fact that Carmen was unaware that she had a court date. Yes, we knew that there was a court date in the system, but that is not the same court date.
Yeah, it's not the same. This is something that this person went and done, and she accused me of stalking, terroristic threats, all kind of, like, she said, I'm stalking her. I'm doing things to her.
And the things that she talked about were actually things that happened before her and Carmen went to court last August. So you're talking about August of 2023. Before
Riley have a warrant. Why do everybody want to know is Carmen Riley in jail? That's what the judge is saying. And the clerk is complaining. The sheriff office is complaining. All these people are complaining about all these phone calls. They had to tell the judge. All the judges in Cobb County know what happened because they all talked. They had to tell the judge that the phones are ringing off the hook over Carmen Riley. So what they do, they go look at yesterday's case against Carmen Riley and the person that filed this bogus lie. And without any lawyers, they called me and said, your warrant has been rescinded. You have a new court date. Lady from the clerk of the court called me today. She said, so many people calling here for you, for Carmen Riley. We can't even do our jobs. They know who Carmen Riley is now. They know who Chef Carmen is now. They know who the other person is now. They know that she got over 300 RICO charges. They know that she is a career criminal. So many of you guys are the same way. So many of us, that's why we are Christ-like. We're not Jesus Christ, but so many of us are Christ-like because having integrity and just loving your sisters and brothers, whether you met them or not, just loving people and loving life, you can never treat another human being the way they treat Tay and I. You can never do it, ever.
I had a court date with Carmen. It's been pending since the last court date that we had, where they all flew in and act like they wasn't here for this and that, and they wasn't going to be there, that shit. When I filed the application for the warrant and I went down to the judge's chambers, actually I went to the warrant team, and then I was talking to the judge in the chambers and showed them, all this stuff that I had. And they said, okay, that's sufficient. We're going to go ahead and, do the paperwork, blah, blah, blah. They asked for her address. And I said, I don't know her address. I know she lives in Georgia and she lives in Texas. At the time that I did the application, which was in June, Carmen was in Georgia. Carmen's been in Georgia for the last 3 months. And the time that they sent the notification out, she was here in Georgia. And they said, well, you don't know her address? I said, no, I know her Texas address. So I gave them the Texas address. And they said, they looked in the system and said, well, there's an address here for her in Georgia that we have for her in Georgia. I said, okay, that might be it. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know her Georgia address. I know for sure her Texas address. They said, okay. So the court sent out the notification, and, and they called me on Tuesday of last week to say, hey, just reminding you to let you know that you have court on Monday. And I said, oh, did you call Carmen Riley? And they said, no, we don't have to call her. We know that she got the notice. We know that she got the notification, the notice. And I said, okay, great. And I hung up with them and, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. Monday comes, I go to court. I get up there. I didn't get an automatic warrant. It doesn't work like that. You still have to lay out the facts of your case in a short period of time and convince the judge that what someone did was egregious enough to warrant a warrant to have them locked up and arrested. And all that kind of stuff. Okay. Now they told me on the phone that Carmen begged them basically to recall the warrant so that because she didn't know she had court. Just lying. But one thing for sure and two things for certain, Carmen, I have more to come for your ass coming down the pike. And this just ties right into it. It just shows me and the courts, because I'm going to take some more stuff down there to them for some other shit, and really this too, to let them know how sneakish, slippery, slimy, and deceitful your motherfucking ass. You know you had court. You know for a fact that you had court. So the fact that you waited until court was over and the warrant was issued to cry and lie and say you didn't know because I was in Texas and this just adds to your list of lies that you be telling to the motherfucking court, because you absolutely knew. The lady told me on the phone that they recalled the warrant. They recalled the warrant, y'all, based off of her saying she didn't know she had court. They recalled the warrant and reissued the date for August 19th. Now, I did call and ask Karina when her court date was, because I don't want the shit to coincide and overlap. Okay. I don't know. But yeah, it's August 19th is the new court date. And the courts said, Ms. Williams, don't worry about it. This is what they told me. Ms. Williams, don't worry about it. Just show up on the 19th. We got the correct address. We know now. They said whether she knew about it or not, she knows now. And you just show up on the 19th and do exactly what you did. And, it'll proceed the way that it's supposed to proceed, just like it did yesterday. And I said, all right, no problem. But baby, I'll be there on August 19th. And she'll get the same thing's going to happen, except this time I'll be able to video you ass going and turn yourself in down to the precincts. That'll be the only difference. And I'll get great satisfaction out of that, because that's exactly what you belong.